What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Phil Shocker, the United States Hedgehog here with our draft recap for MBA Season 1. Obviously, at the end of every season, whether we win a championship or we don't win a championship, I obviously do like to do these kind of draft recaps that went along how our season went throughout the season. So, how we finished and how everything else went with, and just what we did. If you guys are excited, leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new and join the Phil Shocker crew today because you feel like the crew. And I will have a special little announcement video for you guys after we finish up this conversation. So, first off, we made the semifinals. We finished 6-3 with I think something around between +5 and 10 differential, which I think was really, really good. We got the second seed and we were able to advance to the uh, semifinals automatically because we had a bye into the semifinals. So really having a really good time here. So overall, what did I think about my team? My team wasn't like, I don't think it was terrible. I definitely think there were a couple of typings that I needed to do to fix it. I do think that maybe there could have been some other ways I could have played games in that aspect, but again, you can never know, right? You can never know. But let's go over the teams. Let's go over the teams. Let's go over the team that we had, and let's go over the Mons that did well or did bad. So, starting off, let's go with Torcat here. Torcat, I did not bring to a single game. I will say there were a few I really wanted, few that I really wanted to take with me in this matchup with Torcat, and I just looked at the move pool, and Torcat's move pool just didn't put it up for what I wanted to do. And I didn't see, in my opinion, a better fire type that could have been replaced it, but then it would replace something. And in all honesty, I maybe should have replaced that fire typing probably with dropping something from Melmetal and getting like a lower tier steel type that could have done better. But I'll get into Melmetal once we get there. But Torcat, I think in low tier can be a little more better to use, but for national decks or just any league like this before, I don't think I'm going to ever use it again. I only drafted it because I needed a fire type, and maybe in hindsight, I should have drafted something else that wasn't a fire type that could have been better for the team. Rabombi, before we talk about Rabombi, let's give the honorable mention to a Celgor, which was, I believe, my only drop of the season. A Celgor, I do want to give another chance to and look into the future with, just because I really do think a Celgor can be really good. I think I just wasn't finding my ways around it, and I think maybe I should have been digging in depths a little bit and try to be a little more creative with it. But overall, I mean, I think the transaction I did was a little bit better because originally I don't think I had a fairy type on my team. And if I had a fairy type, I think it was an incredibly low point fairy type that was like my one right there. So I think Rabombi was a good fix right there. Rabombi really could have came in the clutch in that game against Krim, but I think regardless, Krim would have probably won that game 1-0 with Mega Altari because he could have sacked his Infernape to give Brave Bird chip and then could have just ran something to hit me and then just beat me. So I legitimately just think he would have had the game right there. He did confirm, by the way, that he was sacking his Greninja, so maybe in hindsight I should have went for the attack and killed it instead of letting Kyurem get chipped. Because I think if I didn't let Kyurem get chipped, I think I could have won that game and I would have been able to wall Zapdos. So it is really unfortunate that happened. So it is what it is. But anyways, talking about Rabombi. Rabombi overall, Rabombi has been that Pokemon kind of like a give or take. I might give it one more try if I think I can see something good with it, but overall, I think Rabombi's just meh to me. I think Rabombi's not all the best. It's definitely not terrible. It's not that bad being a sticky web user, but overall, I don't know. I don't think I can really have fun with it, but I'm willing to give it a try if I have a chance with. Claydol, I kind of come to the realization that I can be creative with Claydol, but in terms of Claydol being good, I I think I definitely want to look at some different, usually some different outlooks to it, you know. But overall, I think Clado was actually decently good for us this season. It was a really good defensive piece. Definitely think I could have done some creative sets with it. Like in this last game, I could have probably brought Iron Defense, Weakness Policy type of set. I could have done something like that. If I was Iron Defense, I think I actually could have been able to really put a dent in my opponent's team and could have used Weakness Policy better again against a lot of things. So it's just one of those things where it happens, you know. So it is what it is. But Claydol, if it's low tier, I wouldn't mind trying it again to see if we can make it work offensively. But just overall, it was just a meh. So it was right. War Turtle was robbed of so many opportunities to smash, and I said that I'm going to make this turtle smash, and I did. And if I had, you know what's funny? I looked at his spreads. If I had made my War Turtle to be faster than +1 Altaria, which I could have done with Modest, the funny thing is, I actually would have outsped his Infernape. His Infernape was adamant with only 52 speed investment. He only made sure he was fast enough for Spectre with max speed, which is very smart because that's what I usually do with certain with Scarfers as well. So that was actually really smart on his end. But that just makes me more sad. Well, I will say, in fairness, I would have had to land a Hydro Pump to kill. I also think I should have went for the Ice Beam with my last turn of Trick Room because that Ice Beam was actually a roll to kill, but the roll I think was pretty much in my favor 20 times out of 20 to kill, being modest because I don't think he had slight HP. He didn't have a ton of HP. Well, he had some HP investment, but again, it was a roll. But if I had fixed that speed tier, War Turtle possibly, and I say possibly, I don't guarantee it, possibly actually could have just swept or really would have just gotten like two, maybe three, how many KOs it could have done. So there is potential with War Turtle, and I definitely will think about revisiting War Turtle, whether it's low tier or even national decks. Because there are times that War Turtle can be good. I've proven he can be good. It's just I'm bad and didn't think far in advance about Mega Altaria because I didn't think Dragonette was coming against me, to be honest. So now let's go to our top 6 months that I pretty much brought almost every single week, except, you know, switching out a few here and there. And even though there are certain stat distributions that I don't really do or anything like that, I think overall between Zapdos and Melmetal, I think the weakest point, but not the weakest as in like did the worst for the team. I think if we're doing the best 6 months I had brought, these were definitely the best six I brought. But in terms of the weakest, Melmetal I think was definitely there. I think I might need to take a break from Melmetal because I only have used it fully one time and then I used it this time. I may give Melmetal one more try in a future draft league just because I think Melmetal is very unique. I definitely think Melmetal doesn't need to be choice banded every single week. I mean, it can be banded in matches as well. And also, I just realized they give Melmetal a different sprite. I didn't even realize that. Wow. Because Melmetal used to be kind of like a chunker thing. I mean, really took over the screen, but I think he changed his sprite. Anyways, back to the topic. I do think Melmetal is good. I think Melmetal is like more than a one trick pony. I think Melmetal can be very diverse, very different, unique. I could have probably done better with Melmetal in certain plays if I also made certain plays better. But overall, I like Melmetal. It's really, really fun. It's very unique. I'm going to probably give him one more try if I see a right matchup in the type of league I want to use it in. But if not, then I'll probably just not be using Melmetal. Zapdos, my second time using it, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little disappointed in myself. There were a couple of times I definitely should have ran Scarf with my Zapdos in some games. So I'm going to take the big on the take the L with that. Zapdos didn't necessarily do bad for us. I think maybe I just not really utilized Zapdos all that well. And the thing is, last time I used Zapdos, it went 14-5 or something like that, and I did so well with it. I really, really did. I think what I did wrong was just not really make Zapdos fast, and I really didn't try to make Zapdos positioned well. Like if I had probably had better positioning with my team and forcing prep of removal and stuff like that, I could have maybe done better. But I think overall, I mean Zapdos I still love. I love the design of this thing. It's definitely one of my favorites. But overall, I'm gonna give this thing another try probably in the future. But I think overall, I think Zapdos did good for us, but I think we just need to maybe do better with prepping it with its item and also just doing what we can. Up next, the Mon that never fails me, Mega Venu. Mega Venu is just too freaking good. It was thanks to Mega Venu we helped end the undefeated streak that Jordan had. And if Jordan wins NBA, at least I can say I took down the champion. But in fairness, his team's incredibly difficult to prep for. So anyone that can beat him is gotta be talented. Oh yeah, Kara beat him. Never mind. I wasn't the only one that beat him. Kara beat him. I think that was a Haxie game, but I'll still say Kara beat him. Regardless, Mega Venu, I love this thing. This is definitely, I think, one of my go-to Megas. I think I'm really comfortable with Mega Venu. I think I use Mega Venu so different than so many people actually think to use Mega Venu. And I think that's what makes me use Mega Venu just so effectively well. I think I know exactly what kind of sets to bring. I think there were only one or two times I may have brought maybe the wrong move and should have switched it out for something like Synthesis or Leech Seed potentially. But Mega Venu proved to be so good. Mega Venu was one of those mons that can just get a lot of kills and it doesn't die all that much. So I was just really proud with Mega Venu. It obviously is one of the megas I'm super comfortable with. And if I have to keep drafting one mega over and over, this is definitely one of the main megas I would definitely be drafting because I just love Mega Venu. He's just so good. I cannot believe that this thing is in the top 3 of our best mons this season. This thing, for the first few weeks, was in the top 10 for kill leader. And I am not kidding you. In the top 10, it was in kill leader with just 4 kills in just a few weeks. I have said that I've never really tried or had an interest in Morpeko. But if I'm ever doing low tier, I am definitely going to be considering Morpeko for a future. And even in natural decks, I might even think about it. Because there were some matches where Morpeko should not have done as much work as it did, but it did. So I am super excited about Morpeko. I think it did so well for us. And it's definitely going to be one of the things. And Shay, my homeboy, if you're watching, your mom did me proud. It did Marnie proud as well. But yeah, I actually really liked it, and you know what? I might even try it in National Dex League next time. Or I will. I mean, if it's also low. I mean, if I'm doing a low tier, I will 100% will be considering drafting this Pokemon, just because it was actually really really good. I think I used it relatively well. There probably were some instances where maybe I should have swapped up the sets or the items, but overall, I used the thing really good. I think, in my opinion, and just overall was a fun one. Kieran Black. Now, I will state on the doc, it did not state no scale shot before Hanj didn't tell me. At least Hanj told me before the season started, which was good. But not being able to use scale shot now, I don't think Kyurem was as broken as it is. Yes, it's my second all time that did the best for the team. Don't get me wrong, and that's a good thing for a first pick is to be one of the main Pokemon that is gonna be when you go to recap your team is gonna be one of the mons that puts the work on your team, right? But I think not getting a chance to get that speed boosting really caused Kyurem Black to kind of lack a little bit. But I think I have built Kyurem pretty well, and I think I use Kyurem, I think, decent enough. I would like to give Kyurem another go around though, because I've only used this thing for I believe my second time ever using Kyurem, and I would like to give Kyurem one more try and see if there's something with this Pokemon. I would love to see something with this Pokemon if I can make this mon work. If I can't make it work, then it really would suck because it's one of the best dragons and ice types in the whole entire format. So next time, I really hope to use Kyurem a little bit better and hopefully have a better team composition because I definitely didn't think I have a ton of team composition that worked well with it. But overall, had a lot of fun with Vegito here, and I just think it was really, really good mon. Definitely really proved some work as our first round pick. And the main MVP of the team that finished within the top 15 of kill leaderboard, Spectrier. And I can see why people say this Pokemon is not all that great. There were definitely I think I only brought this to like 4 or 5 of my matches this whole season. And one of the main reasons it's hard to bring this Pokemon is that depending on there's multiple typings of normal or dark on a opponent's team, it makes it very impossible to bring. Like, I probably could have brought Spectrier against Infinity, but here was the problem. His team had 2 of the best dark type counters to me. It had one that can go specs, it had one that was really good defensively, and overall, his team just had really, really good counters to it. I had no reason to bring it. I wish I could have maybe brought it if I could have built something with it, but I couldn't see an opportunity to make it really that good of a Pokemon for me. But I think overall, I had a lot of fun with Spectrier. It was a lot of goodness. This is definitely something I may potentially look into and experiment with drafting again if I think there's some good match. If I want to give this another shot. I think this was like my I think this was either my second, third, or potential fourth, fifth pick. Um, and it definitely proved its worth from getting it that late into the draft. I think overall, I had a lot of fun with this Pokemon. It was very different. It was very unique, and I tried it before, didn't finish with it. Now I tried it again, and I actually really like it. So yeah, definitely expect me to potentially look into Spectrier in the future. But yeah, that's our season. Definitely had a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun playing against some new coaches and some familiar faces. Definitely a little saddening that some drama did kind of happen, which I'm not going to go into. But let's just say a couple of drama things happened, and then some things went down. But that's how leagues sometimes will be with certain people, and there are some people that just couldn't really behave the way they should have and stuff like that. But hey, you know what? Things happen. But for the announcement I want to make, the MBA is hosting a second season. But not only is it hosting a second season of its low tier and national decks, which I do apologize that I did not get up to date on those, but with going to Vegas and then prepping for all the teams I had, kind of made it near impossible to do so. But the NBA is now introducing its season 1 Ubers division. That is right. There will be season 2 of the low tier and of the national decks, but they are hosting for next season for the next part of the season for season 1 of its Uber season. Now, I'm not going to guarantee you that there's going to be certain Ubers that are going to be handicapped. I don't know if there's going to be certain Ubers that will just straight up be broken or anything like that. No promises on that. No promises on that. But I highly do recommend that you do apply. It is a very nice server. There's free for alls. There's getting to meet new people, talk with new people, and just overall get a chance to talk with them, have some fun. It's a really good place. I actually have officially become one of their mods just because I kind of can be able to help with docs a lot. And I'm one of those people that does want to make sure there's no more confusion on anything. I want to make sure there's going to be no confusion because you guys already heard what I said about how playoffs should work if we ever do top 6 again. But I'm going to let that slide because I already said it in the video with semifinals. So, but I obviously want to make a mod to help clear confusion, be able to answer any potential questions that people might have. But yeah, so there's me being a mod and the application. I will put the MPA's application in. I believe there is no guarantee set time when we are going to do this, but definitely be on the lookout for that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hope you guys had enjoyed this season. I got a lot of new friends and a lot of views and subscribers because of this league, and I'm truly am grateful for all that support that I got. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.